Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, couldn't get a series sweep in Colorado. Orioles played very well game 1 and 2, and then the Orioles played very well during game 1 and 3, and game 2 was just, call it the game from hell for right now anyway. Lots of injuries, lots of people getting hit by a baseball. Very disappointing, and yes, more injuries. So let's get right to it. I'm on MASNsports.com. Let's get to game 1. Baltimore Orioles 5, Colorado Rockies 3. This from Coors Field in Colorado, or Denver, Colorado. Austin Slater getting the start here. Over. This was. Okay, making sure. Austin Slater over. Mullins pinch hitting late. Again, changing your righty and your lefty. Plus, you also get better defense with Mullins out there. Cowser can move over to left. Mullins goes in the center. Mullins does get a hit. 1 for 2. That'll help the old average. Santander, 1 hit. Henderson, over. Jimenez hitting in the cleanoff spot. Cleanup spot. 2 hits and 3 tries. So he's getting there. We haven't seen him hit at least as of this game, we haven't seen him hit his home run yet, but the hits are there. It may take a minute to get the power there, but I think the power's coming. Rutschman pinch hitting late, because that's a Brandon Hyde thing. Over. I don't know why. Look, at one point in the season, yes, when Adley Rutschman was going real good, sure, this move makes a lot of sense. But here you have a hitter, Eloy Jimenez, that is 2 for 3. Okay, yes, he doesn't have a lot of power numbers. Okay. Then you have a struggling Adley Rutschman on the bench, and you think it's a good idea to pinch hit here? I can't agree. I just can't agree. Adley does not look good at the plate. He looks tired, worn down, unfocused. So making him do more stuff is not a good idea. It's not. Read your players. Adley needs a break. I get he's young, and everybody's like, oh, he should be able to bounce back. He hasn't been playing that long in the major leagues. As of right now, he's played just as much in the minors as in the majors, and the minors, their schedule is about a month, if not more, a month shorter. So yeah, by this time, a lot of guys this young in their career, they're getting tired. It's on the coaching staff to help that. Urias moved up in the lineup. 2 hits, scored a run. Cowser being moved down in the lineup because of a lefty. 1 hit, scored a run. Manuel Rivera. Thank God we picked this guy up. He was the whole offense. Well, for the most part anyway. 2 hits, 3 RBI, scored a run. O'Hearn pinch hitting late because, of course, a hit and a run scored. James McCann over. Jackson Holliday, a hit, an RBI, run scored, and walked once. Playing in Colorado for the first time. Or really in Coors Field for the first time. We saw all those videos of him playing wiffle ball with his dad. Now he's getting a hit here as a pro. Jimenez, Santander, Cowser with doubles, Holliday with a triple, Rivera with a home run. That is a good amount of extra base hits. That is a game win worthy of extra base hits. You need more. Holliday stole another base. Looked a lot better this time. But he is young. He's still not old enough to buy his own booze. Albert Suarez miraculously just goes out there in a very tough place to pitch because of the elevation. Your ball doesn't Your pitches don't move as much. And routine fly balls can go over the fence real easy there. Not for Mr. Suarez. Goes 7 full innings, only gives up 8 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Wow. Now the hits, yes, the hits are going to come in Colorado because of the deeperness of the fly balls. Outfielders play a little deeper, and therefore there are more balls that drop in front of them. Ciano Perez on in relief of Suarez, pitching the full 8th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. Odd to have no strikeout in there, but that's fine. Sir Anthony Dominguez on for his 8th save as an Oriole. A little bit of a struggle to get there. Pitching the full 9th inning. Does give up 2 hits and a run, but no walks and 2 strikeouts. Essentially garbage time because the Orioles were up fairly big at that point, 5-2. You could afford to give up a run. It wasn't that dire of a situation. Let's get to game 2. The real shit show of the whole group. Offense was okay. It's just defense took too much of a hurting. Baltimore Orioles 5, Colorado Rockies 7. Henderson 1 hit. Rutschman 0 walked once, scored once. O'Hearn a hit and 2 RBIs. Santander 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. Kowser 0 in the 5-hole, strikes out 3 times. Henderson back up there at the leadoff spot. I mean, sure, shake up the lineup. It kind of makes sense. Need Kowser to do a little bit better than that. Eloy Jimenez, a hit, an RBI, and a run scored. Cedric Mullins, a hit, and walked twice. All right, way to turn it around a little bit, Cedric. Ramon Arias, over, though he did score once. Got hit by a pitch in the nose. Thankfully, it was not as damaging of a hit as, let's say, James McCann, because Ramon was able to really turn his head away at the last second, and it really just grazed it. Drew blood from his nose, but at that point anyway, we're thinking, oh, we escaped an injury. As you can see, Emmanuel Rivera comes in from Ramon Arias late. That's not happening because of defense replacement. No, that's because Ramon Arias trying to cover third base on a steal attempt. Yeah, stealing third because the Orioles are shit at holding runners. Tries to step over the bag, catches the backside of it, or maybe the front side of it, I guess, and rolls the ankle. So, yeah. Not only did we not get the out, but we don't have the services of Ramon Arias for at least 10 days. Very disappointing. Though, thankfully, Emmanuel Rivera doesn't seem too bad of a replacement. Seems fairly decent. Though he was over in his only at-bat. Jackson Holliday a hit and a run scored. Santander with a double. Jimenez and Santander with home runs. The offense really was there. It's just defense and the pitching just wasn't. Cedric Mullins with a stolen base and a caught stealing. Look at all these names. Yep. Lots of pitchers used. Dean Kramer is only able to go 3 1/3 of an inning because took a ball off his right forearm. Close to the wrist, but it didn't look like it hit the joint. It did look like it hit more on the medial part of the arm. Hopefully not the bone. X-rays were negative. So we'll see how much time he has to miss. The thought process here is, or the theory anyway, is there's just no way he can make his next start. I mean, that thing swelled up. It's like immediately. I don't know if I've ever seen swelling happen that fast. It was that fast. And it was probably bigger than his fist. So, he's probably not going to make his next start. Though, at the same time, he's not on the injured list. At least as of yet. I don't know. Kramer's final line in 3 1/3 of an inning gives up 6 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, strikes out 3. Wasn't having the greatest performance, but Keegan Aiken does close out the 4th inning, getting the final 2 outs in the 4th inning, pitching 2/3 of an inning, except for a hit, a run, a walk, and strikes out 2. Birch Smith on in relief of Aiken. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Okay. Gregory Soto on in relief of Birch Smith. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Huh. Well, how about that? Cionel Perez pitching the, what is this? This would be the 7th. Getting 1 out in the 7th inning. No hits, no runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts. That's why he only got 1 out in the 7th inning. It would have been nice if he could have done a little better. Because I'm sure you all see what's at the bottom of the line. Yeah, well, maybe you don't have to use Kimbrel if CNL does his job. This night, anyway. He has in the past for us a lot. Yonier Cano gets the final 2 outs in the 7th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Craig Kimbrel on for the 9th inning. The game is tied up at 5 at this point. Right when you need a scoreless outing from Craig Kimbrel, he doesn't give it to you. Pitching the full 9th inning. I'm sorry. Pitching the full 8th inning. Because Perez and Cano tag team the 7th. Pitching the full 8th inning. Kimbrel does give up 2 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Nothing too terribly hard hit. I mean, it was gave up 1 double. Or is this again? Let's go to the play-by-play, because this is where what I was saying about the outfielders really came into play. There was a ball hit to relatively playable center field. It's just Mullins has to be so far back. I mean, he gets a strikeout to lead off the inning. It does get a double in the left center field. Mullins not able to get to it. Cowser gets to it. Doesn't have the greatest throw. It's like the ball was in front of him the whole time. The ball didn't get to the wall. The ball was in front of your outfielders the whole time, and the runner was still able to get to second base. How exactly is that a pitcher's fault? Maybe if the defense played a little better, it'd be okay. But and then you have this other one here, the single to center field, and it's if Mullins is able to play at, say, normal depth, Nolan Jones isn't going to be able to score because Mullins was so far back, he's allowed to score. Disappointing. And then you get a ground ball. And then you get a steal at third. It's just, I can't place that all on Kimbrel. Though at the same time, it's kind of hard not to because he did give up the hits. But at the same time, they're all hits that were in front of the outfielders. And it was 2 hits. To me, that does seem more like bad luck. 2 hits in front of outfielders. One was a double and one was a single. That's a lot of bad luck. It's a lot of bad luck. Let's get to game 3. Much better turnaround here. Baltimore Orioles 6, Colorado Rockies 1. Austin Slater hitting leadoff again. 0 but he did walk and score once. Santander in the 2-hole. Doing that with a lefty pitching. You know, you have your Gunner and your Adley thing went back to the righty, I think. Cows are not hitting that well right now anyway. 2 hits for Santander. Cowser, you put Cowser out there late in the game. Pinch running for Santander. You're up big. Your outfielder's got to play deep. So putting Cowser out there, better defense, better speed on the base path. It's a good play there. Good move. Henderson finally doing something with some production. Very terrible month offensively in the month of August for the Orioles. Way to start September off on the right foot. 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a walk for Henderson. Eloy Jimenez over, but he did walk twice and score once. Take that, absolutely. Emmanuel Rivera playing first and third in this game. Over. Kobe Mayo gets the start at third base. Does have a hit. Does have a hit and a run scored. Again, Mayo's up here because, you know, Ramon Arias on the injured list. Spoiler alert there. I'll get to my articles here and give some attributions out. Ryno Hearn pinch hitting late. Again, you got a lefty and a righty. And to be perfectly honest, it's much better defense. Because even if you considered Rivera and Mayo the same, you put O'Hearn at first and Rivera at third. That's definitely an upgrade. Mayo just looks shaky. Though, I mean, getting the more reps he gets, the more not shaky he's going to look. Manuel Rivera, I think, is a lot closer to Ramon Arias than people might realize. He just doesn't get that much playing time over there. He is more of a utility infielder. But he's relatively sure-handed middle infielder. Or just infielder in general. O'Hearn over Mullins. A hit, an RBI, and a run scored. James McCann, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. Okay, there you go. Jackson Holliday, a hit, and a run scored. James McCann with a double, James McCann with a home run. The only 2 extra base hits from the same guy. All right. Henderson and Holliday with stolen bases. Holliday's up to 3 now, huh? Well, how about that? Zach Eflin getting the start in this game. That's right, Zach Eflin back from the injured list. And holy shit. Carried a perfect game into what? The 5th inning or something. Nobody expected that. Not coming off the injury list. You know, you have some kind of lat strain or soreness or with shoulder inflammation. I can't even remember. So many stupid ass damn injuries to pitchers' arms. You can't keep them all straight. I think he was shoulder inflammation. And you could just come out and pitch 7 innings. Was a little bit of struggle, I think, to get to 7th inning. 1st inning through the 6th inning, absolutely no struggle whatsoever. 7th inning, a little bit of struggle. Of course, it was really like a normal 7th inning. It's just, we just saw him go out there and dominate for the first 6 innings. Eflin pitched 7 full innings, gives up 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. He threw 85 pitches total. And I swear, 20 of them were in the 7th inning. Wow, that's nuts. Matt Bowman on in relief of Eflin, pitching the full 8th inning, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Gregory Soto on for the 9th inning, a little bit shakier, but he has been stacking zeros out here. Stacking zeros in the run department. That's great. Definitely looks like he's getting his pitches back. His fastball and his slider seem to be back. Now it's all about being comfortable out there, being comfortable with the catcher. Of course, at the same time, James McCann was catching. Something I think definitely going to have to start paying better attention to. Gregory Soto pitching the full ninth inning, gives up 2 hits, but no runs, no walks, and strikes out 2. All right, let's get to some of these updates from these articles. This one written by Rock Kubatko. I think I screwed that up. Trying to hurry up because the game's almost about to start here. Or, it's not almost about to start, but I want to get this out before the game against the White Sox. So I'm trying to hurry up here. Yes, the headline says Mayo returns. Well, I'll talk about the moves. This article really does deal with 2 pitchers that were designated for assignment, Nick Vespi and Dylan Tate. Nick Vespi actually cleared waivers, so he's going to stay in the organization. Dylan Tate has not. Toronto Blue Jays picked him up, and he's now a Toronto Blue Jay instead of a Baltimore Oriole, so another reason to hate the Blue Jays. Dirty bastards. So another article written by Rock Kubatko. I'm trying to think of what is... Okay. Headline saying it all here. Arias going on the injured list the same day that rosters expand. So you're going to have Ramon Arias to the injury list, which now means you can add 1 pitcher and 2 position players because of the roster's expansion in September. And yes, there are rules behind it. It no longer goes to 40 total. You can add 1 pitcher and 1 hitter. So the pitcher added was Eflin. So Eflin just comes right off the injured list. Bam, right in there. You don't have to send nobody away. And he does his thing out there. Now the 2 hitters they're adding here, partially because of the injury, I think they only added Kobe Mayo really to replace Ramon Arias on the roster, and then David Benuelos, taxi squad catcher. Really just to have 3 catchers, I guess, for the moment anyway. That isn't going to last. Let's get to another article here written by Steve Molesky. He says pretty much the same thing as well. Does outline more moves in total. Also saying that Forrest Wall, in order to make room on the 40-man, Forrest Wall was taken off of it. So we kind of thought we might see Forrest Wall with these rosters expanding, but doesn't look like we're going to at this point, partly because of the injury. And also, in all these articles, and I'll click on the button for the next article, nothing says anything about Dean Kramer going to the injured list. Seems weird, but I think the Orioles are holding out hope that he could make not necessarily the next start, but the starter after that. Now, why you wouldn't put him on the 10-day or 15, you know what, I don't know. I feel like, as wicked of a shot as that was, and as big a lump that was on his arm, I feel like he's going to miss more than 1 start. I feel like he's got to. But, however, it's whatever. Do your thing, man. This article was actually written today by Steve Molesky, David Benuelos, as the Orioles return to Camden Yards. We'll get to the schedule in a minute. Yeah, Colorado Rockies at 3 Eastern time. So I guess they played at 1 Eastern, 1 Mountain time. Coming all the way back to Baltimore, playing a 3 o'clock game Eastern time today, Labor Day. Wonderful. Wow, 24 hours, less than 24 hours to get over here. Because the game started at 3. Then you had to play the game. And then you had to come back here, East Coast, lose 2 hours to play. Gee, thanks. However, most likely because Benuelos was on the taxi squad and he was out there. You know? is why he was put on the roster, and Benuelos has now been designated for assignment because he's been called up too many times. And Nick Maton added from AAA Norfolk. Middle infielder, can play some outfielder. Can. I don't think very well. Not compared to, like, let's say a Cowser or a Mullins or a Santander or a Slater. He's probably on Ryno Hearn's level, which isn't that good of a thing, but however y'all want. Get another infielder. That's fine. Thought they had Soto still, but... Or did they let him go? I can't even remember at this point. It's so ridiculous. Randomly, they seem to be calling him up and sending him down. However. Alright, let's get to this schedule. Wrap this up and get out of here. Today, Monday, Labor Day, game scheduled for 3:05 against the Chicago White Sox. Chicago White Sox coming into Camden Yards for a 3-game set. Tuesday's game scheduled for 6:35. Wednesday's game scheduled for 6:35. And off day Thursday. Yay! So while that will do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report, please stay tuned for Thursday. And then we'll talk about the series between the Baltimore Orioles and the Chicago White Sox. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.